Okay, so let's talk about AI chatbots for a second. What if, and just stick with me here, what if the smartest thing your chatbot could do was know when to just stop talking? Today, we're looking at a totally fascinating way to handle customer support, built around a system so slick, its best feature is knowing the exact moment to get a human involved, and doing it so quietly the customer never even knows it happened. Right, that's exactly it. We're going to dive into a system where the AI's number one job isn't even to solve every single problem. Nope, its main job is to be an emotional sensor, to figure out when a customer is getting frustrated. And the moment it detects that, bam, it performs this perfect, invisible handoff to a human agent. The customer has no idea a switch ever happened. But before we get into how brilliant the solution is, we really have to understand the problem it's solving. And for a ton of businesses out there, that problem is a really nasty pricing trap set by the big, established players in AI support. So a lot of the big names in this space, think Intercom, for example, they use this thing called a resolution-based pricing model. And what that means is they charge you a fee, usually about 99 cents, for every single ticket their AI manages to close on its own. And it gets worse. That per resolution cost is on top of the already expensive monthly fees you're paying for each of your human support agents. When you step back and look at it, it's a model that actually punishes you for growing. The more successful you are, the more customers you help, the higher your bill goes. It just feels backwards. So what's the way out of this pricing mess? Well, the answer is pretty elegant. It's a self-hosted stack built with open source tools designed from the ground up to completely bypass this whole problem. And here's the huge economic shift. By hosting the system yourself, you just flip the entire equation on its head. You stop paying this unpredictable variable cost that just goes up and up, and instead you move to a completely predictable fixed cost for your own infrastructure. That's it. But look, saving money is great and all, but that's not even the coolest part of this. The real genius here, the most elegant piece of this whole system is how it handles conversations the very second they start to go sideways. This right here, this is the core philosophy, and it is absolutely brilliant. The entire system is engineered so that the user has no idea they're being passed from a machine to a person. From their point of view, it's just one smooth, continuous, and hopefully very helpful conversation. So how does it pull off this magic trick? It's a 5-step protocol that all happens in milliseconds. The moment a message comes in, the AI isn't just trying to figure out an answer. It's analyzing the emotion behind the words. If it detects even the slightest hint of frustration, it doesn't try another automated reply. Nope. It just instantly and silently triggers that handoff. And this is that perfect blend of automation and the human touch. The AI might send one final little message like, let me get a specialist to look at this for you. But by the time the customer even reads that, the system has already passed the entire chat history to a human agent who is already jumping in to take over. The whole thing is just flawless. All right, so how does this all work under the hood? It's actually a really clever combination of two powerful open source tools, and each one plays a very specific part. The easiest way to think about it is like this. Chatwoot is the face of the operation. It's the unified inbox where your team sees everything and talks to customers. But Diffy.ai, that's the brain working behind the scenes. It's that invisible intelligence layer that's reading every message and deciding what needs to happen next. And you don't even need to be a programmer to build this brain. Inside Diffify, you use the simple visual workflow builder. You can literally drag and drop a logic block that says, if the customer sentiment score turns negative, then trigger this other tool. And that tool just makes a quick API called a Chatwood and basically says, hey, tag in a human. It's an incredibly sophisticated process built with really simple visual steps. So as we wrap this up, it's really important to realize that this whole approach, it's about way more than just a clever bit of tech or saving some money on your bill. This is a fundamental shift in strategy. And this is where that strategy gets really, really powerful. When you self-host your own support system, you are the sole owner of all your customer data. You achieve what's called true data sovereignty. And that is the real long-term competitive advantage. Every single customer interaction, every problem solved, every question asked, all of that data belongs to you. It becomes this priceless asset that you can use to train and fine-tune your own proprietary AI models down the road. You're not just solving today's support tickets. You're building a smarter, more personalized AI that your competitors, who are just renting their tech, they simply cannot replicate. So while that seamless handoff is an absolutely incredible feature for the customer, the real power of this whole model is the control it gives back to you. Control over your costs, yes, but much more importantly, control over your data and really control over your company's future in this AI world. And that leaves us with one pretty simple question to ponder. If your customer conversations are your most valuable data, who should be in control of them?